I what? It's not. It's fully possible.
How you doing? How you doing?
Self take down. Think of an enemy stick and down silently.
45 years old. So pretty disabled. People help me tell people help
This
me.
method of attack.
Pretty much they just American worker and police engineer.
Now, try to
King
get
Congressman, Country Congressman, Illinois Congressman.
Yodeling was invented when someone been totally wrong and it pierced the roof of their mouth. Oh my god. Sad sound. One of my nephews was 2 when I started streaming. When Mika started streaming, and he's soon 13. Alright. So thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate that very much. Bro, all the money! Oh my god. I should go to the moaning again. Give me all that gold. All that. No! No! Damn, I missed some of it. Was the first game you streamed? I think technically League of Legends, but on this channel, World of Warcraft. I think I streamed like once before I made this channel, and it was League of Legends, just like to show a friend or something, you know. But I streamed World of Warcraft first on this channel. It was the reason I started streaming is because I was playing in a guild. We had a full guild, and we were doing mythic raiding pretty early, so we were doing like some higher level stuff, right? She's still stuck there. Oh my god, the AI broke. So I figured I could stream so that I could show other people, like Swedish people, for example, other Swedes, how to do the raids. Okay, she's actually broken. What do I do about that? Get off that thing. I don't know what to do about it, Chad. You're the light. Just brain damage. Yeah, I don't know what the heck. She's just staying there now. I was trying to spank her off, but she's not. She'll respawn. Oh, if I jump off? Like if I kill myself? Nah, she's still there, bro. They just reset after time. What if I run back here? Already ruined the game. Classic. Already ruined the game. Soft locked already. She's just stuck there. What do I do? Sit on the platform? Okay. Okay. There's a jump right there. I also have there's a local co-op, so I can take a controller and move out of there. Well, for that, I would have to find a cable and also a controller to plug in. I don't think she's actually gonna come. Take the other side. I think I need to reset. You can use a keyboard. I guess we save and quit, and then we go back.
How did you
Collectibles may be lost.
Oh wow,
so
it's not resetting. First time seeing someone break it so hard. Good job, Lau.
How did I break it? I just played the game.
those machines
Penguin think we're
so
doing 30 months.
yeah, so you
A singular bug reset house.
don't like
Yeah.
about 9 years.
I just need to redo this level. It should be fixed now. I think maybe it's because I actually like progressed on her level. Hooah! Oh my god. Yoko would be proud.
Radar not
Oh yeah, the choker. It's a little hard on it. Parts on it. Whee! Yolo. Thank you for the tier 1. The prime. 3 months. Parts on it. What do you mean not how I would handle things? I did everything perfectly. What's your problem? Your powers of observation. Whee!
Merchants will allow you to ambush.
The very god.
like say how much
Oh, and for to keep this up. Bob Ross? Yeah, bro.
If you're facing challenges, a minor if you're spotted by an enemy, you must now face the consequences.
Oh shit.
So basically, don't get caught.
You catch on fast.
work so much, they don't know like why we don't have a family, why we're not homeless, why we're not friends. Around people,
For helvete. I didn't want to click that one.
That's a white thing.
Suck on that.
Okay, a lot of white men in Scarface area.
Whee!
One of Montana things. That's
Right for hell. You went the wrong way, Chad. Not cool.
don't happen on the street. Just gonna go
Down to mama. Down to mama. Blind and deaf. It's just like in the other game, like the Batman. He's eating a hot dog? Oh my god.
You gotta do it on your own. You do it.
This is hanging out on a rock.
But for brown people, they don't have a full clue to the brand of Mexican.
Hey,
The
what are you doing?
white,
What's our problem?
yellow, and red. That's called purple. That's yellow. That's green.
A fellow glissy gobbler. Bruh, are you guys gonna walk away or we're gonna stand here? All of us. Girl, don't give my position away.
Grab your shit. GG. Didn't I predict
keeping Mexico we're riding us.
Yeah.
Here, like, it's huge. That was a full cheater lobby.
Dude, John, I wish we could have helped you, bro, but there was just no way. It was fucked.
I didn't expect you to.
You know what's fucked, too? Dude, I killed 2 of those guys, like,
Yeah. We can open the door and just only start throwing shit between you.
He just like would hit stuff at you too. Like he knows I need that around.
the worst part is we maybe could have helped.
With hotels and vacation rentals, Booking.com has something for everyone.
You got anything more boutique?
Wait, right this way. What about something more friendly? Maybe a resort.
Or somewhere less family friendly.
Yep, one Vegas hotel for the bride to be. Everything. We have free cancellation. Find exactly what you're looking for. Booking.com, Booking.com.
Anybody else got something they want to share? Native body lotion. It's got no parabens or sulfates.
More time for the things that matter most.
24-hour freshness.
Always down for a good time. Always
Arenas to play.
Travis Knight.
Denver is no joke.
Start Field.
Playing in Denver, you're like, intersection of history, TV Garden in Boston. Maybe the loudest arena I've ever stepped foot in my entire life. That's a winner.
I didn't think he was a baseball fan, right?
Come on, I love homers, and this little bad boy lets me pick one for free every day of the week. I can make a picture of shot Monday, Tater Tuesday, walk off Wednesdays, thumper Thursdays, 4-bagger Fridays. Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda. Road trips won't wait. Neither should you. So bring on the thrills with a Honda Hyper. Hit the road with high-tech features like available Google built-in and the efficiency of the Honda Hyper. All from the 2025 Kelly Blue Book Best Performance brand. Right now, you can get a $319 per month lease on a 2026 CRV all-wheel drive sport Hyper.
He's randomly here, huh?
Must take their time to get it right. But you can ignore the critics are ways to put around is becoming a much more professional and professional.
All this trend making shit here. I'm like, I'm not fucking trend. Put us back. Yo, I think I'm addicted. Like, just like, I put us back. Something that you just the horrible idea. Why do I keep going here? That's fucking the worst idea ever. Okay.
Once again, the 500 is going down, but it is a little bit of a different vibe because many in the racing world are doing the walk, very sudden, very shocking walk of Kyle Busch at just the age of 41 years old. But still,
That's so
the race is
British.
going on, and it's a special race this year.
No, but I didn't.
America 350. Let's go ahead and bring in Josh Williams with Whirlwind in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Josh, it is great to see you. Welcome in to Live Mountain
The
Fox.
American people were thinking that these programs.
Yeah, because my camera didn't send me introduce him as.
We'll see if we can get that figured out and get back to him in just
It's so
a little
weird.
bit. But again, let's once again force that Steve Ukrainian essentially saying this. Do you have that
Wait, what? Wait. Hey, my name's Mel.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That is so weird. Are you hacked?
Sometimes.
That is what we just read out.
Golden, baby. Golden.
But then also kind of said that there are still some things that are
That's weird.
Those to help you survive.
Wait, what? Hello, Brian. How are you? And show earlier. Well, I'm sticking to the deal. Well, there's no deal, but I'm not going to let you cry. Oh yeah, Bobble's on. Alright then, good night. Bobble's. Bye, Tom. Take care. Yeah, see you Wednesday. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you. You know all these lovely words to me? Well, I think the words, I think everything with you. Okay? So don't ever forget that you're really cool. You're right. I'll say like 100%.
Enough money for food management.
The other percent time you're really cool.
Because I don't know like why
Great. I should
it's
have
so
to
bad
here.
with medicine.
Project.
Because
To say something. Oh, like a group project where you just like, yeah, you have to do like your part.
trailer park sometimes.
No, I think you're actually all really cool. I actually think you're all very talented too. And I actually think you're very lovely and you make great points. You don't know what it is. Compliments.
Number of persons there.
That is pushing shit. Sending the lucky to have how many minutes? No, I think you're so smart. I've learned so much from all of you. And you've been like home to me. I really am. And then you all tell me about it. That's like my learning.
Basketball,
To get called a name, it means that I love you very deeply. But I love you very deeply.
At the end of the day,
Yeah, that's true, Sean. That's all right, me too.
basketball gym, play baseball, baseball field,
Sure, like, sure.
football,
You want to you're a nasty name.
MLB, NFL. So I'm seeing stuff like
I can't
that.
give you a nasty name, so don't deep
Like
in
Larry
the
Bird, or Steve Kerr.
Alright, go in. I've got verbal diarrhea now.
You got the level of basketball.
I'm not making sense.
Play basketball at this level. You're not going
It's God, so.
to be bothered by nobody.
Great days. Okay. And see, get people on Fiverr to make it some.
Probably get into
I don't know how much they would be.
debate that thing that would happen to Captain Bill.
But it is
Captain Bill is
quite
not
common, so you might have the same
powerful firearm. Don't use a firearm
Fiverr
with a
possibly
real
not yet.
That's what I mean. That's what
Oh,
happens.
well, yeah, there's lots of
I'm on the method. I'm
and
going
they're
to
probably reasonable. Yeah, you get the kind of automakers in the house or something. Yeah,
firefighter do it. You go on Captain Bill.
alright then. Yeah, I didn't know about doctors.
That means they kind of go. You guys want to ask?
No, it's a lot. I don't know. Anyway,
Thank
okay.
you.
I love you. Yeah.
Video comes out. But one thing that I did say, I didn't really do it like that. I was just joking. It's actually playing around so like that. Yeah, I mean, I know, but I
Que de todas maneras, mi fecha de forma natural es, o sea, tiene, se dentro de las edades contemporáneas, mucho más consciente, mucho más precavida, pero de tamaño, la verdad es que, a ver, la primera vez en Juan, la primera vez que te pegas, siempre te recomiendan que te pongas un poco más de obvias energías, porque normalmente la gente no sabe normalmente busca algo muy natural, etcétera. Y yo empecé a jugar y me puse el tamaño más grande. Y luego la segunda vez que me operé, el cirujano me dijo, yo más de algo. Aparte había que rellenar el espacio que también se había que calcular prótesis. O sea, no es lo mismo rellenar un espacio virgen de una atleta que se queda un bolsillo con un espacio de una prótesis. Pero a cabra loca me refiero a eso. Me refiero a que yo era... o sea, que no me recupero siempre con tiene ciertas urgencias. Obviamente la primera vez me operé con 21 años, o sea, la segunda vez que me operé tenía 28 y puse una pancreas. Así que sí, me operé 2 veces. Sí, la cosa es eso, que la cosa es que claro, que no, el mismo tamaño de prótesis no le queda a todo el mundo igual, ¿sabes? Va en función de tu constitución, de tu caja torácica, de, ¿sabes? De un poco todo. Ay, pensaba que... Entonces... a mí me dijo, más de esto no te pongas. Eso. Y eso. Pero bueno, lo que yo digo es que yo siempre... No mucho ya, tía, ya.
So, there got to be a lot of ways to capture wasteful government spending. And kind of on the topic of this campaign in general, obviously it seems like it would be hard for an independent candidate to beat a Republican in a pretty red state. If President Trump won by a significant margin, your opponent does have the backing of President Trump as well. So what do you think? What is your pitch for how you can actually pull this off and win this race? Well, for me, it's old-fashioned politics, Ryan. I just go out. Everything I know, I've learned from people. And today, I'm going out to Lexington, where Tyson closed. I meet where 5% of our nation's beef came out of this plant. 3,500 people out of a town of 11,000 lost their jobs. I'm going out there to learn from the ranchers the impact of this closure. So it's really just about getting out and talking to as many people as possible. There's 1.2 million registered voters here in my state. I'm going to try to get out and talk to as many as I can and learn from them and learn what we need to go fight for in D.C. And I think last question here, obviously, we hear the attacks against you as well as the compliments. And probably one of the big attacks here is that you're not actually an independent. You're a Democrat who's masquerading as an independent. How would you respond to some of those attacks? That's all I got. And first of all, it's false. You can look at the registration record. It goes back over 20 years. I've been an independent my whole life. I've never bought into the fact that I have to accept one set of policy issues or values and reject another set to be a part of the party. Again, I think I just want to go work for the people. I want the people to be my boss the way this was intended 250 years ago. And happy birthday to the United States. Yeah, I was working for the United States. Dan Osborne, independent candidate for the Senate in Nebraska. We hope you come back and join us again on Live National 5. Well, for now, best wishes on the campaign trail, sir. Yeah, thank you. Well, we appreciate Dan Osborne joining us on Live National 5. But I promised him before we do have Josh Williams from Whoa, in Portland, Indiana. Bring us live from
Like if you have trailer parks and care homes, those things normally don't allow you to have Mexican console in their building. Something trailers.
Certainly are.
Because that will start getting ready to use higher products on a low rate. Like a bad karma. Personal care homes are but that means we may have one. That's the word. That's the place you can go to if you want something. That's how that works. That's how that works. You want to get away from black, white, Asian, brown, something like that.
Doesn't spend as much time with them. Hi, Zay.
Take care of you, only take care of you. If you anything you need, but you'll be stuck there for a long time. Or you won't be able to get out of this. Every time you get out of it, something. You have to be careful with stuff like that. That's the word.
I will not argue with you, Ryan.
Why is it so difficult?
A lot of the young racers out there and telling them what works and what doesn't work and what you should avoid doing when you get into the sport of NASCAR and racing in
Get
general.
in there, you little
Yeah, I think about the legacy that Owen Lowry had to leave behind and the back and forth with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the feud. There was a couple of races where you weren't carrying security until you need to help both of those drivers throughout the track because they couldn't keep their hands off each other.
Then you have when he's hungover tomorrow. Oh no, I didn't roll it up, buddy.
And repair relationships and stay professional. So
I know, I got a whole steak out as well still.
There's millions of listings on apartments.com.
And homes.com. That's like virtually any place you can live. It'd be hard to list the places you can't. Like,
possibly
but otherwise,
live it. You'll find it on apartments.com.
and homes.com. The place,
Find a place.
I've played sports my whole life. I'm super competitive. I've never felt like emotions like Siege does in those clips. I realized that the numbers had been doing my teammates started dying, and then at the very end, I mean, it was just a 1v1 duel.
But back in those old days, your father, when I thought he was like, he would have one of those brick phones, and he would call in his card, and you ask your mom to drop
And I've got a gift today. No one's going to want
cell phone wasn't the first cell phone. First phone.
if there was anything on the put this on and this
The open, like the big phone table.
on Friday and
Normally the tablet. Something called a tablet. And maybe probably television. So, those don't even say
You should not be doing it. Because they like pretty much it has learned to like wait till I look away and he'll like slowly budge into the food and he goes and gets it more. He's left with all the run that he's no longer with us. So I got one in mine. No. And I've got lots of pink clothes, so I like that. But I really want to put on a fancy dress. I've got this one dress and I've had
I just knew I had a feeling. Such a And then AJ, we're gonna do your spins. So with the 50-50 wheel, you do the $15 to get into the wheel. Every single time though, except for one time in this entire wheel history, it is land on out for the first one. So I'm kind of workshopping and thinking of like a different way to do this. But it either lands on out now plus $15, so either if it's your first spin and you get out, it's $15, or it lands on 2 times plus a spin, which means it's 15 times 2, which is 30, and then you spin again. If it lands on this again, then it's 16 minutes.
You want the clock show because that's in video game. Clock video game does have a hard time clocking something.
Get something crazy on this.
Clocking. That's something
Unless you get super lucky.
know that supposed to know that playing.
$1 and 3 cents.
But that means you got to go a little further out to know
Times 2 on the total, $1 and
the
2
other side of
cents
it
left.
called a watch. A watch kind of go.
$4 times 2 on the total.
I don't wear a watch. I just take the clock.
$9 times 2 is
On the phone, clock, on lightweight, I get my clock, but that's I ain't doing that. More than
$18. Round up to 20.
home, that's like home because you got a lot of money, you got a lot of stuff on you, you can't be outside. Really can't be outside doing yard work.
You want me to respond to your messages so bad?
But you gotta be on a farm, or you gotta be a certain type of credential to do that type of yard work. You know what I'm saying? But that's what most guys do. They do the yard work, but that's where they won't do nothing for you at a certain time. They really won't do it.
Okay, we're gonna have to get that.
Drop set. Eso acaba de pasar. ¿Por qué te lo estás quitando? ¿A ti te multaron, primo? A mí no. $50 de multa solo por no llevar cinturón.
Like that, prison, got a hospital, out of
Foreign minister has become
it's real. Hard, you know,
Let me say this one more time. And then
the second side
when I
of
became secretary,
discrimination is sex
I was sworn in like at noon or 11
all your paperwork. That's where politics come in.
Get as low as 1.9% APR financing on a new Subaru Hybrid.
Let's not this guy.
Right on between you, stress, each and every cozy up, your buddy, and your partner. All hybrids available now for free.
You know you need to drink more water, and True Lemon makes it easy. Actually enjoyable. Our drink mixes turn plain water into seriously delicious lemonade that tastes just right. Not too sweet, not too tart. We kept the ingredients simple, and the flavor refreshingly real. And it's only 1 gram of sugar, 10 calories, and a good reason to refill, so you can sip all day without thinking twice. It's everything you want, and nothing you don't. True Lemon, available on Amazon.
celebrate with our friends and stuff like that. You gotta figure it be like
Great, feel good.
positive.
I refinanced my student debt
Go
so high,
big,
and this is
stuff
ask
like
my worst
that.
anything.
You're an animal.
How much debt did you rack
Go
up?
you look up to
$180,000.
somebody. They get done.
Felt
Very
embarrassed?
good. But
Did a
man, have
refi
to like what
lower
happened.
your monthly payment? Yes. Refinancing made getting out of debt feel possible for the
Why
first
did you
time.
buy the video game? I
It
couldn't
was so
play
fun.
it.
You could
Take
save
everything
thousands
back.
immediately off your desktop.
I
No
couldn't
fees
do it. You
required.
couldn't do it.
So
All
fun.
you can
Get
do
your
it.
money right.
But now
It's
more
not
like
scary because I
the
know
more and more
$25.
punch that you give, the more you get back. See what I'm saying? She don't like that stuff where it's a man. See what I'm saying? That's sex discrimination. She don't like me in the person. The people just don't like me. Don't like it.
And one of those relationships that I'm so excited
The ugly,
about
busted,
going into
pretty,
26th
nasty,
century,
fat.
given the
Sometimes the girl will turn into a nice person, man. And that's where she's gonna soft about somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Bill.
Sticking
Okay, Bill.
sticking out on you, and that's
How is
let her do that to you. See what I'm saying?
and so
Let her verbally assault you that way. You don't hit her no like that.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of dust on here.
different parts of the world,
That is a bit.
any will have a production like this. Together, but I think about all the things
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Whoa. Wait, that just randomly discover skills? For no reason? What do you mean? Am I be shooting you a bit? Fucking nice! Can you have a face? Have a face, okay? A decent one. Oh, you found it? Find and repair the broken console. Alright. Oh, yeah.
That video game
Retirement my ass.
Stop thinking don't feel good to a girl or a guy that's maybe retarded or drinking, smoking, and trying to survive the harsh conditions of reality, and people just laughing and joking and having the ball and stuff like that. You know,
Что как встречаюсь? Я одна.
all of a sudden,
Никто не делает
girls
массу.
say,
Я ни с кем не живу.
not in this
А
state.
я, мои котики, потрясающие воздух, вода, еда.
And you're trying to
Всё.
learn exactly how to speak
Я ни с кем не встречаюсь, я не вышла замуж, у меня нет детей. Я просто отдыхаю, наслаждаюсь жизнью.
Speaking to somebody with the
В
same
какой-то момент я
language,
сделаю объявление,
that will help if you have the money, because usually in
начну
one
продавать
country,
кучу всякого хуйни.
you have the money to make the
Просто
purchase.
система абсолютно. Я живу одна, никто из меня не сосет жизнь, никакие мужики, никакие дети. Чё хочу, то и ворочу. Волосы в том числе. И раньше я какие-то экстеншенс носила и прочее. Ничего не нужно, просто нужно все исключить, что тебе идет на самокажение. Все. How do you feel about homosexuality? It's a lot of it. I'm not in any way related to that, but people can do whatever they can as long as they don't really sexualize.
Like I was saying, the clocks don't really mean that you want to lose. The girls have
Just enjoy your life.
they don't like relax the girl.
I just actually I noticed that they noticed. I was rolling so much. I would up.
White guy.
So I put the shirt on and I would up and the shirt is like wrapped around me and the blankets is wrapped
on him.
wrapped
Do a
up.
great job on him. You do a great job on him.
I'm not sure why. Chad, what does that mean when you
Guys,
like constantly?
sometimes that's just how it is.
You're very much
That's how it's
like
do a good job on it. That clock kind of means that you want to lose it. You see it. You have to
Then why is everyone calling me a Trump supporter, bigot, Nazi, right? Crazy.
They probably was cheerleaders,
That's
was
what I'm
basketball players, gymnastics,
if I am a centrist left, then why are they all
I made up for the font, I made up for a loss.
You're so funny, I swear. For example, abortion rights being taken away. See, that's probably the only thing where that well, it's not like right
Playing on that way because that's where they're trying to get a little.
Abortion, I would be, that's the only stance where I'm like, it's a gray area. It's not like all in or out. Because every other orders, taxes, ja, man, ich weiß gar nicht. Ich weiß gar nicht, ob ich das ist. Ehrlich. Bei meinen Eltern gar nicht. Vielleicht mit Hause am Anfang. Aber meine Katzen sind sehr ruhig, sehr brav. Wollen wir gleich weiter?
My wife was supposed to play it anyway. That's what they why they won't let you gotta time because you gotta be like in the public. They won't let you do it like that. They don't do it on their own. They don't sell it to them. You know, nothing like that. You're gonna have to pick it up on Twitter. You not know a lot anyway. You know, you can't speak English, so that's where I'm for most of it. But I'm saying that thing is working where he jumps in as far as kind of goes like that.
Last year, freedom flyover again, something that had not been done before. But we've done it. Talk a little bit about what we're going to see.
Why are you my op? Don't piss me off. I'm going to make you suffer this weekend.
Yeah, so long-range strike air power really is the foundation of really the Air Force and why we have a separate service. And so to see that new formation, a diverse formation of combat capability, with very different structural capability, which is a challenge to just how you organize and manage a formation like that. It's really special. And I have always said, since I did my first show, there's something very unique and special about the requirement to protect the perspective of hundreds of thousands or millions of people.
And they're not like saying that they have a bunch of work to do. You're welcome to the advice shop. Hey, Jay. $7 and 2 bracelets. $10 with an accent. That's right in the middle. 7 4 is 11 plus 5 is 16. And plus 10. 16 plus 2 is $20. You got it this time.
They're on their way in right now, and leading the formation is an aircraft that you've flown.
Just to go for the tarantula, or should we go lift? I do not know where I am. There, crash. I mean, it's like crash. Better than nothing. There's the mule. The mule usually knows where to go. No, I want to execute it. We have to wait till that thing comes. Deal with that, sir. Please, yeah. We don't have any more questions. Can you make it? What is this? Wenn du bestellst, bestell ich auch. Das ist das war sowieso, es ist ist ja was Süßes, aber das ist ja nicht süß, glaube ich, oder? So Nutella, Banana, ja. Tatsächlich beides einfach.
they trying to say, I am from women of women. It's hard to determine how that works because that's like it's a rapping thing, something, but the fighting style kind of goes. You got a family, you got war, soldiers,
Let's go, Dad.
that's a rock fight. That's the
Brother, was ab. Ja, pass auf, vielleicht Banane und so. Also, ja.
like they say, fireball, fire,
It's probably because you're not flexible enough. Try doing some stretches to open up your hips. Some hip stretches. And maybe not like go full range of motion or you're flexible enough. Not even close. That's my advice.
It's okay to cry.
Yeah, hip hop goes. Probably have tight hips. Yeah, you should do anything. But trust me.
The cool thing is you never really know what's going to we're going to challenge you that you never even dreamed of when you were 19 or 20 years old. This is why the 2 down there yesterday, those 132 careers, it is literally a system of systems. Because
the shirt
to get
yeah.
a formation of aircraft, flying
shirt is
across
so
the
cute.
target on time, in place, doing everything they're supposed to be doing. It literally tracks down to every single one of those.
Like a halter, not a halter, but like.
The most experienced members of that and to be able to produce that, that's how it has to work. Well, oh my gosh, you're good. A great artistic hero. This man has launched some of the most tactical of our nation and our allies. And we're thrilled to have you here, but most appreciative of your incredible service to our nation. Still way more service to go before you join us old people in retired life. But we can't thank you enough for what you and your airmen are doing each and every day. And it's being shown in real world that today you have airmen deployed in Hartford. Yeah, well, thank you. Really thank you for that story. it's complicated, it's detailed, but it's fascinating. And to be able to tell each visual great to have you there. This ceramic costume will be back with more of the story.
Challenge accepted.
Sure, it's super cute, very sweet. That shirt, it's so cute.
Johnny Cage.
Tigers, my Where's Tigers on vacation? Looks lovely. Yeah, Brandon bought it for me because he wanted me to wear something cool like this. And I was like, okay, send me like options for the top. And I'll pick my favorite and then very cute. Alright, time for the bathing suit. I'll be back.
In October. And so we're a military family, long lineage of military service. And it wasn't until 2011 when I signed my then 17-year-old son over to the Marine Corps that it really hit home. I didn't even know, honestly, what a Gold Star Silver Member was back then, and I'm kind of ashamed of that now, but, you know, you're pursuing a mom of an active duty service member during wartime, the anxiety the separation anxiety. And I thought, well, if I can live here, I can't imagine what families must feel like if they're coming, you know, they're coming home and they're getting that knock on the door with their loved one hasn't come home. And so that's how Memories of Honor got started. Our entire mission is to make sure that every day is Memorial Day, that we create opportunities for the community to honor and respect and acknowledge not only our fallen service members, but the families that they left behind. And the deep
My thing is, you travel across the country, you set up this memorial that has the actual conductors of these war 5 service members who passed away from 9/11 attacks and the wars that came after that from Afghanistan to Iraq. And I mean, 7,000 plus of them. I mean, that visual is enough to make your hair stand up. Afghanistan war.
sad. I like the fact that oh yeah, I think they only have one yeah, I think the problem is one
that they exist and they're still living without their loved ones.
And that's not a big thing to ask for. You know, like you said, you can still enjoy the holiday. You know, it was paid for by the sacrifice of a lot of people. But
okay, wait, I want to see
you can do something to realize why you have these things that you have, right?
test.
Yeah, we owe these families a debt that we could never repay. You know, we can't bring their loved ones back. We can't fill that void that they live with. But that doesn't mean that we should not be doing something every single day to make sure that they know that they're not alone, that they haven't been forgotten. Families that received kind of acknowledgement was when they were handed that golden flag and was told,
okay, test.
and a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them feel like the nation has forgotten them. So, you know, as a mom of 6 and the mom of 2 active duty Marines, we can't have daughter-in-law. You know, God has given me a voice, He's given me a platform to help be a voice service members, but for those families that may not have the platform or may not have the strength to say, hey, don't forget us, don't forget my loved ones. They've already experienced the worst nightmare. Their loved ones not coming back. Now they're scared that previously will be forgotten. And as a nation, we have to make sure that those service members and those families are not forgotten. Not just on the military, but civilian agencies.
How long is this gonna last? Does it always last this long? I was just trying to do a test.
Right now, I'm talking about
I know, I can't even do like the classic. Apparently this I have
service themselves may not have family members or direct family members who are in the service, or maybe don't know someone who is lost in the line of duty. Is there a sense of motivation you get just from everything
How have
that
you
this
been,
organization
Shep?
does and what's involved with?
yeah, you know, we're all on a time clock.
Sarka, you know you love it.
And
Sarka, just think of the vacation you're gonna have.
when I took my son off to Paris Island, West Alabama High School, and during wartime, I made a promise
Okay, Sarka, just think of
that
the other side.
safe, and I know it's selfish, but if you kept my son safe, that I would spend every waking moment of my life
Think
of that, Circa.
that these other families know that their loved ones' life and service and sacrifice is not in vain, and that people still acknowledge their loss.
Circa already spun a wheel today, Nightmare. He already did more than you did.
The first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning is how can I and us as an organization make an impact, not only providing family members, but also providing protection. And it's the last thing I think about when I go to bed. And I'm just really blessed to have
Circa, what do you mean? It's not one day. It's gonna be the whole fucking weekend, Circa.
Conversation is right with either of both.
I know he running from stuff, didn't even spin, and was asking me to spin. Circa, I hear a lot of talking back today.
Last Sunday, we had a huge memorial here in Nashville in Franklin, and we raised some boots for the first time for family members, for their loved ones that didn't already have a boot on the memorial. And so since we've taken it over, we're actually going to expand the memorial to 9/11. And so we laid our first 9/11 boots, and it's friends my mom become really close friends, and he doesn't get any his wife doesn't get any accolades. His feet wasn't closed, he didn't sit with us in a certain box. And the whole thing is going to finish, don't things like matter too. Things serve a couple of years and then die and come back. And so that's not in the life. In sadness, but also in gratitude.
Troy, thank you for taking the time to talk again. We got stopped by yesterday. I got a dilly bar. We talked a little bit about China and what's happening around. But I'd really like to focus on the U.S. consumer and what you've seen today, because I think you've got a pretty good read. What do you see?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting environment right now. And when you think about the consumer, it really, you end up in two spheres right now. If you are affluent, you are looking at retirement accounts that is doing well, and those consumers are looking for new extensions. They're looking for new flavors. They're looking for new products, and we want to make sure we're providing those. However, if you're in the lower income demographic, right now, when you think about persistent inflation, interest rates that are still relatively high, not by historical averages, but for recent years, these consumers are pressed. They're trying to manage strained family budgets, so what's becoming more important is they want to go out, but they're paying more at every visit, and therefore frequency is down. So that's what it is for us. We need to make sure we want to be there for them. We want to create smiles and stories for every family that visits us, and for us, we want to make sure we've got great products, new flavors, new things that are consistent and break through the clutter in our industry. We also want to make sure we've got great everyday value for those who
Okay, so when you are based mostly as a franchisee, and then you've got so many franchisees who are coming into your business, how do you do that? It's not always easy to get that same message across the friends out who you're working with, geographically, all kinds of other things.
Yeah, and it requires really good communication. I would say some good persuasion skills. And what I mean by that is franchisees are also stressed, right? They're constantly facing all the time. Their margins. So when we really talk about value, we have to make sure we're conveying this. Why is this important? Why will this healthcare business overall provide really good everyday value to consumers and still enhance the profitability by bringing in more good? But that's an educational process. You're a franchisee. You're saying, I really want to provide this value to my guess. But promise me that those transactions are going to follow because that's what looking at my business.
Because my transaction amount may go down, so I need more of those transactions to come through.
Exactly. So if I'm taking a smaller market and my transactions don't grow, that's difficult with my own margins. But we know that when we provide great products, with great service, great hospitality, those transactions are going to follow. Because it's a tough game.
What do you need? Is there an equivalent to a dollar menu or something? What do you have to lure people in, and then what kind of flavor?
What's been great for us right now, when we think about the value, we've got a $7 menu in the US, and I'll focus on it's a fantastic full size item. You get a burger, you get a chicken strip, you get spring chicken strips, you get the range, you get your size, which is that has been around now for about 50 years for us. You know what you're paying. They are it's important. Now, the flavors really a lot. We just rolled out our new flavors this year. We've got a strawberry, and it's a blizzard. We also believe breakfast can be enjoyed any time of day. And what I mean by that is we just rolled out our breakfast.
Blizzards for breakfast?
Yes, get blizzards for breakfast anytime. You can get a fruity pebble shake. You can get a cinnamon toast crunch. Or you can get a frosted taco donut. These are awesome products, but those are the types of flavors.
Do people actually buy that for breakfast?
No.
Okay, I thought you were serious.
I'd like to believe they would, but no. But it's the idea, right? It's this nostalgic flavors that you can go back to, and it's amazing how people respond to that. And it's a flavor of the thing for us. Now, when you think internationally, we've got Dubai chocolate that we perform really, really well in Taiwan. The pistachio blizzard in China that is to die for. It's just absolutely amazing. But that's the type of innovation to bring forward. But it's not just treats. You always talk about treats. You got to try our sauce and toss it in your basket. Right now, Parmesan garlic came back. No. Because food, you think about Dairy Queen, it's balanced food and treat.
Okay.
And we really want to focus on both the food and treat side of the business.
All right, you say full plate portions are what are bringing people in, but what about the GLP-1 business? Is there a demand for smaller portions, or do you see people dropping out because of GLP-1?
Yeah, I think it's hard for us to say right now, right? Because you have so many consumers. Definitely, there is a trend that we need to be mindful of, but that's also why we have menus. We're still going to have our a la carte items, so you don't have to have a combo. We're going to have our mix and match options, so you can come in and get a couple proteins. If you want to get chicken strips and you want to maybe get a side, there's smaller portions, but it still has to be available. That flexibility is important to consumers because many people will eat their standard meals. We're seeing more people smaller snacks throughout the day, and we want to make sure that we're there for them as well.
David, first of all, it's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
You've been with Jazz Bears a while, but this is your time to shine, to lead things. What's it like being in charge?
I mean, it's amazing. Obviously, I got 15 years of incredible tutelage and guidance and mentorship from John Morris Burson, two of my favorite people in the world. So being able to take on from them, they build this incredible foundation of a company with the best team in the world is a dream.
It's something, though, to step into what is a cultural phenomenon and try and figure out now what. So now what?
I mean, now what for us at Jazzwares is really what we do every day. A smile to a child's face or an adult's face, which is the largest growing segment of our fans around the world. And I think really what we do making toys is, I hope for myself and the rest of the team, it should be easy. And if we can provide value to the Berkshire shareholders, that also is everything for us.
What's your hottest selling item right now? And I don't mean this because obviously all this stuff's going to sell out this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, at the show, obviously, everything that we launch at the show, whether it's a show exclusive, the brand new one, Squishmallows, of course, will do incredibly well. Anything tied to our like this year is also the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. So for us, to be able to have anything that we offer at the show, launch at the show, and also in collaboration with some of our partners, Hello Kitty, Demon Hunters, which is the most popular show on Netflix. It's just for us.
What's your number one seller?
Number one seller will for sure be the ones.
Oh, I don't mean here at the show. I mean just around the world all year. What's your number one product?
The number one product would be for anything in the Pokemon line, but for us also
Yeah. How do you think about? Because you guys have managed to not be a fad, which is kind of incredible. You've been around for a long time. All of those advertisers, how do you do that?
I think for us, remember, this is next year will be our 30th anniversary. Yeah. So really, I try to reinvent ourselves every year. And part of being in the toy industry is about bringing newness and fun and exciting. Somewhat a little bit of akin to running a hedge fund, where you have a portfolio. You have to reinvent that portfolio every year. I think our team does an incredible job through our own innovation, whether we're partnering with our brand partners, and just making the next 30 years as exciting as the past 30 years was.
The toy industry has changed, or the toy retailing industry, I should say, has changed pretty drastically over those 30 years. How did you evolve and change with it? Where do you do the majority of your sales? There's not a Toys R Us anymore.
There's not a Toys R Us, which I think is impactful for a lot of smaller toy companies that are trying to start out. But it also gives us an opportunity to partner with some of those smaller companies and find them space, whether it's in an online retailer, which has obviously totally changed the shopping experience, Amazon, etc. But also for our partners that we work with, whether it's a retailer, big box retailer, a club retailer, a drug retailer. But so much of what's changed is really about data. And really for us, big data, how we use and leverage AI in our business, how we become more focused on what our fans ultimately want. That, I think, is what's changed so much in the toy industry. The toy industry used to be Saturday morning cartoons. Now it's how do you get to that end consumer, whether it's through social media. Obviously, TikTok is a huge venue for us to connect to that fan base. So it has changed so much.
What do you hear from consumers at this point? Because you're a discretionary business, a discretionary item, and discretionary spending money has come down.
Okay, but you never listen.
Gas prices have risen.
I think what we're trying to do is just be mindful of that. We have a consumer base that is ultimately forced to spend more money on certain other things. They've had more money in their wallet before. Gas prices are obviously rising. We're trying to be as mindful as we can and work with our retail partners on what that retail price is. Ultimately, the idea of providing that smile to every one of our fans around the world.
How do you use AI?
We use AI in a number of different ways, whether we're using it through shopping experience, agentic AI, customer service, how we can get a better opportunity or selling opportunity for our fan base, we use it throughout our supply chain globally, and obviously we use it throughout all of our technology, whether it's cyber defense, etc. More forward-looking and more prepared for what is coming our way.
You mean in terms of figuring out what the consumer wants?
Ultimately, I think for us, it's also how are we using AI as a company and how are we using it to drive more efficiency throughout our business.
Do you have to be big at this point to really be able to maneuver retail issues, the AI issues? How big is it to be a global company?
Our leadership family for us is shared knowledge and experience is incredible. So I think the small companies still leverage AI, but for us, AI and how we're using it to better our business. The world is heading in that direction.
What about tariffs? Last year tariffs were a very big issue. This year maybe not so much. How do you manage your business, not knowing what the next steps are?
As Warren would say, we believe in America. We believe that going into the 250th anniversary of this amazing country, there's always going to be some ups and downs and challenges. And what we need to do as a company is to be able to roll with that. Ultimately, deliver product to our consumers and our fans around the world. So I think for us, it's about, there's always going to be ups and downs and challenges, but
Tell me a little bit about the consumer, because that is front and center right now. Oil prices, gas prices.
Well, I certainly have to acknowledge that consumer attitude is a little bit different than what I'm very thankful for. That is the fact that our consumers love us. And two of them, that's not just the line, that is the reality. Because I watched the University of Michigan numbers very closely. I know exactly where it is. What I know is our numbers are up for the year, and I'm very thankful for that because I also know the industry fairly well, and I don't know that others can say quite that. So we are up for the year. We're very thankful for that. We had a great Easter, a great Valentine's, best ever. So, yeah, great start to the year.
When you see energy prices rise, do you usually see that show up in the consumer, and is this time different because people think it's temporary?
Yeah, well, I think we've hit our numbers so far in the year, which is great. Very again thankful for that, and we have to believe that there's a lag there in some places, and so consumers are going to continue to make their choices. This is also why I go out to shops and I see the interaction between our great staff and our customers who come in, because that's our seed corn. We have the best product and we also have the best service. So to be able to do both of those things, we know that consumer only has so much in their pocket, and we want to make sure that we're always giving them the best deal that they're looking for. And honestly, this time of year, in these conditions, they need us.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Pat, we've talked over the years about input costs, particularly right after.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we've had times where you've seen cocoa prices that were super high, or other inflationary impacts that gone through.
Well, thankfully, the spot market is definitely back to earth, so to speak. There was a 5-6x increase in the spot market. We don't buy on the spot market, we buy on forward contracts. So it's definitely hit us. Where there was a lag, 22, 23 was when those flows started elevating. We didn't really see it in our prices, what we pay for our chocolate, until about 24. So we're kind of on the back end of that right now. And we bought contracts out to 27 and bought them at the right price. So we're very thankful that we have excellent buyers. We have people that pay attention to this every day, and so it's definitely impacted us. But we're not passing that on to other consumers. We're getting the right prices, but we're not passing it on to other consumers.
You said you paid very close attention to the University of Michigan. Is that the one you watch most closely, or is there another number?
Well, we also have our own research that actually demonstrates kind of what I'm saying about that experience in the shops. Is relative to other retailers, we are very high in their estimation of the retail experience. So our own research also confirms that we're an anomaly relative to this.
Why, because chocolates?
Well, actually, I kind of believe that. I do. And because we're around for 35 years, it's not just the product, but how we interact. So that is as important as it's ever been to make sure we get it right. .com or
where do you get those sales?
In our retail shops.
How much of that is California?
So of our 250 shops, so it's a significant amount. And that's also reflected in our conference as well. So we're nationwide for sure, but we have definitely more of a list of clients.
You've got hockey players out
we
there.
do.
So what's the tie-in?
The tie-in is Mr. Abrams. So we talked to the hockey coach and the hockey player. So we knew that this game would be coming, and so we got Warren passing the puck to Greg. We have the box. We have the box. And so we got Mary's playing defense.
Yeah.
And so we got the full team. But no, we always have fun every year. We have a team here. And this year is the hockey team. So we got Greg seats, got the puck being passed there. So he was in here about 20-30 minutes ago. So it's fun.
What did he make?
How do you do?
So this is our chocolate. You're taking our delicious milk chocolate. You're going to let that chocolate come right off. And then you're going to right on just like that. So I'll
you did it for me? Okay.
right ahead.
All right, dip it, we'll flip it once.
Oh, perfect.
I like a lot of chocolate.
Me too.
All right, you gotta go like this.
Oh, perfect.
And on the plate. Oh, I made a mess.
No, that's it. That's
Wait,
how it's supposed to be.
I don't want to touch it because I don't have gloves on. So will you put another one in?
Yes, of course.
I gotta do both.
I love
Right. Okay.
Oh, perfection.
This is like Lucille Ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get the gloves out. And put it right on. Oh,
Perfect.
wow.
You're going to save those for you, Becky.
That's easy. I can do this.
The response to your pressure point.
Dan, hi. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Good to be with you.
You ready for our meeting that's going to be a little different?
I am. I'm looking forward to it. I've been in 24 of the last 25, so it's a big change, and I think it's exciting. The next generation.
Yeah. I want to focus on the consumer with you, because you've got a pretty good idea of what's happening. I would guess that because people can't move right now, it makes it a little tougher with the home market. What do you see in the home market, and what's that mean for your business?
Yeah, it's definitely a headwind for Ventura Moore. Number one driver is housing churn at Ventura Moore, and with affordability issues, mortgage rate issues, and confidence, it's been a strain. There's no doubt about it. We did have a good first quarter, but it's a drag on our business. And I think there's 70% of the mortgages that are out there are at less than 6%. And until that number starts to move downward, people just don't have an appetite to move.
Yeah, and people thought rates were coming down. They were at the beginning of March, but then they skyrocketed back up with the start of the war.
Yeah, the war has actually added a little pressure for sure for us, both on that housing side, but also the raw material side, because a lot of the derivatives that make up our raw materials are petrochemical based. And so oil is a real driver of our costs. And so we're feeling that.
Where do things stand just in terms of getting things out of the Strait of Hormuz and what that means for all sorts of chemicals?
Well, it's just the global market driving the prices. We're fortunate we don't bring a lot of raw materials in from that part of the world. Most of ours comes through the ship channel, so we're protected in that way. But the pressure on the pricing for oil just impacts the whole feedstocks that we buy.
Do you buy on the open market? Do you have contracts?
We have contracts, fortunately, so we have some protection there. But we're starting to see some force majeures from some of our suppliers, and we're managing that the best we can. We're aggressive about that, but it definitely is a headwind.
What does that mean that you're aggressive about that? So you're paying us, you're delivering to us, not somebody else?
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Just internally, the cost containment type stuff that we manage, all the discretionary spending. We're very focused on that right now. We're hopeful that the administration might flip. The longer it goes, the less likely that is the case in my opinion. But we're working on that. But we're managing our relationships with our suppliers, ensuring we get the material and the best cost we can. And then the internal cost of
what kind of discretionary spending goes away first? Advertising, marketing?
Not that we pull back on some of our capital spend. Some of our OpEx, some of the initiatives we have, we're pulling back or pausing because we're hopeful that second half of the year things will start up. And so we're just kind of blowing the range right now in a number of months.
Ventura Moore is a premium. What does that mean as prices have come go up and consumers have less discretionary spending? Do you see it or not?
Yeah, we see some trading down. There's still people that want the best, they buy the best, regardless of the economy. Fortunately, in that level from a game perspective, so we're not seeing a ton of that at the top end of our, it's that mid tier of our brand. Trade down a little bit because of less discretionary. And quite frankly, there's just not as many home improvement projects going on. They're not moving that stuff because it's that push on.
Steve, first of all, it's great to see you.
Great to see you. Thanks for coming in to live.
Yeah, there's a lot that looks a little different. What do you have?
There's a lot new, and starting with trucks, we have the legacy so not only do we have more insurance, but Dutch, so he's reached stardom of having a Dutch of his own. So cool box set here. All three of them.
Yeah, we were just kind of wandering through and taking a look at some of the different things you have. Licensing is a big part of the business.
And the bigger push of the licenses, we got a number of licensed partners. So Peanuts is a big license partner for us. Snoopy is super hot right now, so we're excited about that one. The license, Dogman is a license that's doing well for us as well. So,
I saw Sesame Street over there.
Sesame Street is a new license for us and continues to do well despite maybe what people have heard about Sesame Street. Kids love Sesame Street, so it's doing real well for us.
Let's talk a little bit about the consumer, because that's a big issue given where gas prices have headed over the last 6 weeks or so. What have you seen as prices have risen at the pump? The cuts into consumers' ability ability to spend on things. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, we've probably seen, a little bit of a change in our trends over the last month or so. But, there's a lot of factors influencing the consumer, so sometimes it's a little bit hard to tell, what factors those are. We're just coming off our Easter season. So, right after Easter, transition time, so a little bit harder for us to read this transition time. But they're transitioning to patriotic. Thinking about Memorial Day, they're thinking about 4th of July, they're thinking about the 250th anniversary of our country, and so our patriotic product is starting to really do well right now.
That's great. You were just mentioning to me that you're working with AI to try and make it easier for people to shop when maybe they've got a big project that they're trying to put together.
Yeah, some of our customers come to our site and they're faced with planning an event that maybe they've never planned before. So it might be a mom that is planning an event for a holiday, for Valentine's Day. She might be in charge of the school Valentine's Day party. She doesn't know where to start. So we have great product for that event, but having someone that plan, that shopping experience, take that shopping experience down from what might be an hour to 5 minutes. So
I'm a pretty sophisticated shopper when it comes to the Oriental Trading website. I never needed more than 10 minutes to put that stuff together. What does the AI engagement do? What I've done last?
Well, whether you control this or not, you might be a unicorn in a lot of ways. Shopping being one of those. But, that first experience into planning an event can be intimidating and challenging. You may not know, what are the right questions to ask. So we ask you, how many people are attending? How many kids? Do you want that to be a holiday event? What's your budget? And if we can take all of that information, together shopping first. So that's our vision. That's what we like.
Where are you standing right now on that?
We're in the planning phase. We hope this is something.
See, last year when we talked to you, tariffs were front and center. Had a pretty big impact on your business because so much of what you were selling is made overseas. Where do tariffs stand right now? What's the situation? What about the tariff rebates?
So, the good news is, there's a bit more stability on the tariff right now. Right now it's kind of across the board. A lot easier to plan for than 50% or 50% or 25%. So the stability makes it easier to plan our business right now. So
so as long as it stays at 10%, that's a manageable.
That's much more manageable. And having a viewpoint of where it's going is very helpful for us because it's very difficult to adjust supply chains
On the fly. Yeah. Okay. So what about the tariff rebates? How much would you get back, and have you put in for rebates?
Yeah. So we were on the site at 7 a.m. Monday morning when the site was available. It was, and we filed for our refunds. It was a very, very easy process. So far so good. Results of that 25 to 60 days promises very short time.
And this year, you've got a marketing opportunity here with, again, having Greg Abel being here. What are you doing different? What's different than what you've seen in years past? Like, I reckon there's a legacy. The legacy continues with both Warren and Greg Abel.
Yeah, that's a brand. I mean, that's a design on he's not Warren Buffett, he's Greg Abel, but he's got very that are very
What is it with Adam Johnson now being responsible for, I think, 32 of the companies, retail companies? Who did it now? Have we had much time to speak with him, to work with him on any of this?
No, he's got a lot to absorb in a short period of time, so he's kind of going down the list and getting characterized with all those portfolio companies. So I don't envy his position. So he probably wouldn't be able to take us through and go through our product at this point in time, but he's a super talented guy as well. And I'm excited to work with him. He's a
Steve, anything else that you're watching on the business front right now? Anything we should be paying attention to?
Well, we're inwardly focused. We're focused on our core Oriental Trading Company brand and our other successful brands as well. We have some of those kind of represented here. Mindware, which has some great games that are on display here. Monkey Around, which is a top game for us on Amazon, and Virgo, which is our long-time best game ever. It's been played hundreds of millions of times. So Virgo's a fantastic game. So Smile Makers serves the dental and medical markets extremely well. A real fun brand. We've got a brand, Halloween Express, and Morris Costumes in the back, where we've got some really cool Halloween product as well. So, and our Fun Express wholesale brand continues to do well and making really, really good inroads into retail establishments as well. So we're focused on all those brands and driving our business.
So last year, because of tariffs, you came out with a new duck line that you kind of joked around and said, tariffs mean you got to shrink things a little bit.
Yeah, we took the duck down a little bit for tariffs, and so that is the tariff-adjusted Warren Buffett duck, and our designers did an absolute fantastic job. I wouldn't want to be the person painting that duck.
Me neither. It's teeny tiny, but these were a big seller, right?
The micro ducks.
Yeah.
Customers love the micro ducks. This year we have a patriotic version of that, USA. Can we get that in there? So USA, and again, the 250th anniversary of our country this year is going to be a really, really big event. So you'll see those around on tables or collector's items with your kids this summer.
Perfect. Steve, thank you.
Good morning and welcome to Omaha. I want to welcome all our owners, our long-term owners, those that have recently become a shareholder. Again, thank you for joining us in Omaha for this, for the meeting. Obviously, very excited by this, and I want to also touch on we have many people here just experiencing it. So, just great to be together. The first thing I just want to touch on, we had the video, incredible 60 years. The one thing I did know that we've traditionally had was we've often had a movie which included the credits that came with it, and the video, and we'll have a few other videos that I'll touch on later. But we did have an exceptional producer, an executive producer, and I want to thank her because it wasn't acknowledged. Susie Buffett, thank you. And then the director who's always done the movies, again, did this video, and we'll do our company videos that I'll touch on shortly. Brad Underwood, thank you, Brad. Now, we have a great day planned, and it's really all around our owners. It's our culture, but most importantly, this is our Owners' Day, our Owners' Weekend. We have an exceptional group of owners, and we're just passionate to be here. We'll communicate a variety of things around Berkshire and our insurance or operating subsidiaries in Berkshire as a whole. But what we really treasure is the engagement with our owners, our shareholders, and the questions that come. So thank you. Really appreciate it. Now, to touch on this morning, we have 3 sessions that we'll cover over the morning, early afternoon. The first session There'll be some pleasantries here, and then we'll move into a business update. That'll be the first session. As we move into the second session, I'll have Ajit Jain join us here on stage. We'll obviously take any questions, so it'll be a question and answer period. We'll do the traditional rotating between our shareholders and Becky. Becky, thank you for being here. And we'll do the traditional Q&A, and then that session will wrap, and then we'll move to a third session that will have Katie Farmer. Katie is been the CEO of BNSF, our railway, for the past 5 years, and then we'll also be joined by Adam Johnson, who is a 10-year CEO of NetJets, but also took on an incremental role recently, and we announced that in December. Adam took on the Consumer Products Group, Services, and Retailing Group. So we'll have them join us for the third session. Again, the traditional question and answer period. The only thing that I would say, this is also a little bit incremental or different from past meetings. Throughout this morning, we'll have 3 different videos associated with operating companies. The first one will be from Geico. Nancy Pierce, who's the CEO of Geico, long-term veteran and wealth of experience with Geico. She's over in the manager section. She'll narrate a video on Geico, and then we'll also have a video on NetJets narrated by Adam, and a video narrated by Katie on BNSF, the railway. So that'll be incremental. Now, the fundamental purpose of both having the incremental managers join us on the stage and the videos, we have an exceptional team at Berkshire. The depth of management is very deep. Obviously, we have a number of subsidiaries, but the depth of our team is great. And this is an opportunity through the videos or having incremental leaders on stage. It's an opportunity for you as our owners to learn more about those businesses, but also about the leaders that we have. And that will be a format that as we go forward, we'll build on. We can introduce you to other leaders either on the stage or through the videos. So, let's move to the formalities now. I'm going to introduce our directors. I'm going to do it alphabetically. So if they could just acknowledge with a wave or however they would like to acknowledge our shareholders, our owners. Start with Howard Buffett. Susan Buffett. Our chairman, Warren Buffett. Warren, we have a little surprise there for you. If you look up to the right, you'll see a jersey and a number. We're retiring. Warren, appropriately, it's number 60 for 60 years as our CEO of Berkshire. Equally, it's placed beside Charlie's jersey, number 45. Charlie was with Berkshire for 45 years, obviously our vice chairman and a treasured partner of Warren, and it's just reflective of a great partnership. Thank you, Warren. remain in the rafters for the years to come. So, great. Now we'll continue with our directors. Steve Burke. Ken Snow. Chris Davis. Our lead director, and I'll just add a point here because it's Sue's 20th year as a director at Berkshire. Thank you for being our lead director and all you do, Sue Decker. Charlotte Diamond. Ajit Jain. I would just add for relative to Ajit, obviously been our vice chairman of insurance for 9 years. I had many years to be his co-chairman. But one thing I just want to touch on, Ajit joined Berkshire in 1986. And not only is he a director, just been really the architect of our insurance business. So again, thank you, Ajit. Tom Murphy Jr. Wally White. Meryl Whitmer. Now I can start to, I think my eyes have adjusted it to the lights and everyone out there. And I have to tell a little bit of a story here because when Warren announced the transition last year, and I was sitting here and couldn't be more proud, but I don't mind sharing, the first thing that flashed through my mind was, geez, we've already booked this arena, and I know the directors would be here, and I knew I would have some family here, but it's wonderful that I'll have you here, so thank you. Thank you. Now, back to a great tradition. I'm going to throw the mic over to Warren. Warren?
This is not my show today, but there are there are two anniversaries that we're kind of celebrating today. One is the fact that the board has had what I will generously call a refreshment, which they voted, and you couldn't have made a better decision. They did it unanimously. It was a surprise to all the board when I announced it last year for Susie and I. And that's been 100% successful. Greg is doing everything I did and then some, and he's doing it better in all cases. And he's the right person. So that decision, we score 100% on.
Thank you, Warren.
But there's another anniversary today that I'd like to spend just a minute telling you about, because about 10 years ago, we made a commitment to essentially move 10% of the resources of Berkshire Hathaway, turn it over to a person who was not that well known at the time. And we did that by spending roughly $35 billion buying stock in Apple Corp. We were going to have that under the management.
Stop this now, Raiden.
Turning that money over to the management
Very well.
Apple to make Berkshire look good. And without any work by us, of the firm way of operating. And I would like to report that several things are happening. One is the $35 billion counting dividends, realized appreciation, unrealized appreciation. But that was turned into $185 billion tax. And I didn't have to do a damn thing. So it's, you know, we're very big around here on having other people do the work and collecting the money, but that has been a success. And we do look at marketable securities as being businesses. That doesn't mean we hold all of them forever, but we still, our largest holding is Apple. And Apple has a very interesting history that some of you may be familiar with. But one item is they're observing an anniversary themselves. I think just within the last week or so, they celebrated their 50th anniversary, and 50 years seems like a long time, but Apple seems like a very new company. And when Tim Cook went into the top position at Apple, he succeeded Steve Jobs. Everybody in America knew his name, and not many people knew Tim's name. And Apple had this roller coaster experience where the two Steves started in a garage or something 50 years earlier, and I'm not sure how many of you know, but Steve was thrown out for a while. He came back in. He did some marvelous things in terms of developing products. And then he had it untimely death. And everybody said he would manage Apple when Steve Jobs didn't do it. Very few percent of American investors have even heard of Tim Cook. And he, in effect, took over about 14 years ago. He died. But when we made our investment and turned over 10% of the resources of Berkshire, we were turning it over to Tim. And as I say, he's turning that into $185 million or something pre-tax. He rolled out of the comparative our record with. But Tim has announced that he's retiring as well. That's an announcement that's just been made in the last couple of years. And so I think it's appropriate if Tim would take a bow and our shareholders would say thanks to him. And Tim is right by me. How would you like to step into the shoes of Steve and come through his record? I mean, it's one of the miracles of American business management. And so, anyway, thank you, Tim, and I'm going to turn things back to Greg.
Thank you, Warren.
Your accusations when you go friend.
Tim, on behalf of our shareholders and owners here, we echo everything Warren said. And I would add one thing. You've truly been a global ambassador around the world for American business. Thank you. And Warren, thank you for taking the mic there. I am reminded I have a cherry coke here in your honor, peanut brittle in Charlie's honor, and that seat remains open. Thank you, Warren. Now we'll move to a few more formalities and get into the business update. It really started with the letter to our owners and shareholders at the end of February. And I touched on it in the letter. I highlighted that the first thing as we transitioned, I wrote a letter to our 400,000 employees touching on culture and values. And the purpose of that letter was to highlight that was not going to change. It had never changed in Berkshire under Warren's 60 years. Aspects of it evolved, but they don't. Our culture and values did not change, and that as we did the transition, that was not going to change either. It's the bedrock of Berkshire, that culture and values. Now, one of the values we've often touched on here is integrity. There's no better example of Warren's remarkable demonstration of that when he testified before Congress in 1991 as the chairman and CEO of Salomon Brothers. I like to call it Berkshire's anthem, but I wanted to make sure we had that opportunity to see the video today. Berkshire's anthem.
For the opportunity to appear before this subcommittee. I would like to start by apologizing for the acts that have brought us here. The nation has a right to expect its rules and laws to be obeyed, and at Salomon, certain of these were broken. Almost all of Salomon's 8,000 employees regret this as deeply as I do, and I apologize on their behalf as well as mine. My job is to deal with both the past and the future. The past actions of Salomon are presently causing our 8,000 employees and their families to bear a stain. Virtually all of these employees are hardworking, able, and honest. I want to find out exactly what happened in the past so that this stain is borne by the guilty few and removed from the innocent. To help do this, I promise to you, Mr. Chairman, and to the American people, Salomon's wholehearted cooperation with all authorities. These authorities have the power of subpoena, the ability to immunize witnesses, and the power to prosecute for perjury. Our internal investigation has not had these tools. We welcome their use. As to the future, the submission of this subcommittee details actions that I believe will make Salomon the leader within the financial services industry in controls and compliance procedures. But in the end, the spirit about compliance is as important or more so than words about compliance. I want the right words and I want the full range of internal controls. But I also have asked every Salomon employee to be his or her own compliance officer. After they first obey all rules, I then want employees to ask themselves whether they are willing to have any contemplated act appear the next day on the front page of their local paper, to be read by their spouses, children, and friends, with the reporting done by an informed and critical reporter. If they follow this test, they need not fear my other message to them. Lose money for the firm, and I will be understanding. Lose a shred of reputation for the firm, and I will be ruthless. I welcome your questions.
Berkshire's anthem, that's embedded in Berkshire. We send a reminder to it's a great reminder to our CEOs and employees, our 400,000 employees, and we do remind them of that, including I ask our CEOs each year to send a letter again in the first quarter, asking them as they run their business, as they make those daily decisions, they may apply that simple test that Warren highlighted, the newspaper test. Now, moving to the more formal update on our numbers. We, in fine tradition, we always start with our exhibit hall sales from the exhibit hall yesterday. And the interesting thing is, last year was a record, as you may guess, but fortunately, this year's sales were very consistent with 24. We're basically at 1.5 million sales. But the point is, we'd always love to get to 2 million, and we're not there yet. So we've got something to work on. But importantly, what the exhibit hall represents is our businesses showing their products and services, and you get to see this great commitment of our leadership team and their passion for Berkshire and their passion for the owners. I was fortunate to spend some time going through the exhibit hall yesterday, and that's a wonderful experience because I get to, we're getting the opportunity to engage with all of you as owners. So we treasure the exhibit hall, and what a great experience. And I'll just add, it's open till 4 o'clock today, and feel free to spend a little money. Now, truly moving to the more formal aspects of the business update. We issued our 10Q this morning and had the related press release. You can see the results, and I'll touch on those. I'll start with Berkshire, just as a whole. Obviously, we have our insurance, as I've referenced, as our heart. Part of Berkshire is our foundation. But as we move to the non-insurance businesses, we're really fortunate to have a number of businesses in there, but in their aggregate, they're fundamental and really central to American businesses and American industry and to the American consumer. And when I combine those, it's really the unique opportunity we have to excel across those businesses. And that will continue. It's been our focus, and it will very much continue to be our focus. If I start by looking at these results, I'll start with the insurance, total insurance. And I'm starting there because there's a couple of really important points to me. You can see in 2026, the first quarter, we're actually up, quarter on quarter. And yet in the letter that I sent out just in February, highlighted the fact that we are likely to see stronger results in 2026. But there are some important points here. In 2025, we have an $860 million after-tax charge associated with California wildfires. The adjustment's not so important. It's just to highlight that the 2026 results and what we're feeling in the insurance industry right now, there's two things. One, our 2026 results do not reflect any catastrophic events. There was a pretty benign period. There were some storms in the northeast part of the United States, but relative to 2025 and past years, very benign. And that highlights again that our insurance businesses, but the industry as a whole, the pricing we talked about, that hardening, i.e., can you get the proper premium for risk? It's becoming a more challenging market. What's driving that? Well, when you see a benign environment, and I'll touch on further results at another layer, but you start to see competition coming into the industry. They bring a variety of products and forms, but it's really they're bringing capital into the industry. So just wanted to really highlight, we still see that as a softening market, and I'll expand on that. Now, when we discuss insurance, we have two core objectives at Berkshire. We want to underwrite at a profit, so create a profit ultimately for our shareholders, but truly underwrite at a combined ratio. I'll come back to it because there's a lot of insurance jargon here and there's a lot of numbers, so I'll come back to it. And then the second core objective is to increase our float. Now, the insurance jargon and the numbers on here. Go to the combined ratio on the left, go way over to the right, the 10-year average, 93%. I'll give you a little bit of color here. If we have a $100 premium that comes in associated with a policy, the 93% represents the costs incurred associated with that premium. It can be the cost of writing the premium, the commissions, or the loss reserve we set up. The 7%, i.e. $7 on $100, is our profit, our operating profit on that premium. And then if I go back to the $93, just roughly $23 of that would be the expenses, the administration of running the business. And that's just an average. It varies across our businesses, it varies across the industry. The other $70, and this is very important, that's actually what goes down into flow. So when you see our flow growing, we take that $70, it goes into our flow, and we'll incur premiums against it over the years to come. And when the premium shows up, we pay out against that 70. But if you take a simple small commercial business or personal insurance, that $70 effectively gets paid out likely over a 3 to 4 year period. That premium sits there as float. We earn on it, and Warren's referenced it many times. It's a valued part of Berkshire, and it's really the opportunity to continue to create value for you as our owners and shareholders. You can see on the float, going back to 2015, it's effectively doubled through 2025. There's a small increase in the current quarter, but I wanted you to all see it, but it's not, the fact it increased, it could have decreased, because it's just subject to the payment cycle we're in. The really core and important objective is that we grow it over the long run, and we'll continue to provide those type of updates to you as our owners. Now, if I go back up to the underwriting results, and you see the combined ratio again, but we'll focus on 2026. Primary reinsurance, they're about 87%, 89.6%. The amazing thing there is that there's an age in that number. Again, our 10-year average is in the 93%, so we're actually realizing more operating insurance income profit. Again, what's driving that? A very benign environment. A catastrophic environment in insurance. The last time there was a hurricane that hit landfall in the U.S. was 19 months ago. So our quarterly results, our results last year do not reflect those type of outcomes. Again, that means we have more capital coming into that industry. Yes, we like those results, but the reality is as that business, as our insurance business softens and we cannot realize the value we should for the related risk, Ajit and our insurance team across the businesses we start writing less premium. We still want to write it at an underwriting profit because there's still opportunities there, and there's a number of risks we'll insure, but we'll be much more cautious and specifically across the primary and reinsurance businesses. Now let's move to Geico. As I highlighted, we have a new CEO. We're fortunate to have Nancy leading that team. They even have a better combined ratio, 87.3%. That means associated with that business, 12% plus operating income coming off of each dollar of premium we write there. Exceptional result. What's driven that is that 4 or 5 years ago, the Geico team stepped back and said that they felt they weren't, relative to the risk, getting the proper premium, the proper price for risk. And over the last 4 years, we've seen we have worked hard, the Geico team worked hard to get the proper balance across that. That meant our premiums went up for our customers across certain classes of drivers. They worked hard to segment that customer. And by the way, that happened across the auto industry, generally speaking. We saw an increase in the overall premium as they managed that underlying risk. Again, what's that mean to the industry? What's that mean to Geico?
Whether you're doing hard sciences, across the board, you can actually save it today. And you have a choice of doing different location. Unlike on the military side, I always joke when I was in the uniform that there were orders, not suggestions. We won't go to the poll, but today's I give you the better look to say, here's what I'd like to do, here's what I think I want to give you. How can I move this mission forward?
Ding dong, it's Realtor.com.
5, 10 years.
Mortgage 26 says we should keep renting.
Mortgage 26.
3%. More Realtor agents recommend Realtor.com. They track every market so you know when to make your move. He also says that Bigfoot. Got it. Get real with Realtor.com.
One of the things that seems like you all have been quite better is you said everyone is included in that. And let's keep around that. And you are also only supposed to accept downloaded to provide is that right?
Okay, and if you say one that as a passport, your loan component is just responding and local violence features, anyone that whatever your government we give you a passport. And we want to be around as much as we can. first way to become a franchise was getting an even better prices. That was through the enabling of paid members and family to force members. The average member is saving $20, $30, $40 an order. You can check out, you can actually choose to donate a portion of that to give members budget. And we raised almost $30 million for that. If you're being part of it, our members are so glad. You see 3 to 5 times for the great e-commerce. And then that allows us to subsidize the gift with a critical membership, which is subsidized by it. But even though some members who take especially went to the lowest members, there's something that is actually repeated. And still a couple of years, and still repeating. We became the first pure place in the food challenge because it was non-existent in Texas and one and that's why we obviously really good for the different members that they get the contribution.
I love it. So also you talk about the unicorn from the safety meeting business that we can all learn from. What kind of for years. I would just say to any entrepreneur, like you will always, if you read a news article, if you see the headlines, like you'll see a stories, and the truth is building business super hard. You had in the first 3 years, like every quarter there was an existential moment. I mentioned the situation with fundraising, but we had one situation where we totally self-inflicted. We had realized if we give new members a free drive coconut oil, which was back in 2015, like the coconut oil trade. Okay. 100 things you could do with coconut oil, like the big article driving traffic to the site. And we opened up this funnel that said get a membership, get a free drive coconut oil, and we had every Friday. The problem was it turned out many of these programs, many of them didn't want to sign up for membership at all. They just wanted the free drive coconut oil. So, a month and a half later, it's a disaster. We came off that funnel, and I found out we had just bought $1.5 million and I remember checking the Daniel we had normalized it, we have 17 years and we we did, we found a way to give it away. I think it's in the year and every employee you have and everything you have to taking it as easy. Every Christmas gift is like big news. Although it is over the next few months, like just taking it a good kind of decline. You don't want to be holding to right. Hey, how do you, first of all, is it the highest question ever? Do you have a favorite product? Yeah, I'm glad you asked that because, as you can see from the picture in the background and, this one here, my personal favorite. I've got it right here. My wife is from Spain, so I was in and one thing she's preached about this product, which is an island, it's the oldest island in the world. It's an incredible story. It's organic, it's regenerative, it's single source. So that's my all-time favorite. There's another one right behind you that box called Sweet Pickles. Okay. This is a kid snack. So if I think about food, freeze your acid take snack.
Remember this, man. Key to not to go upside down.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to I love it. So what is the future of that? What are you excited about? Yeah, I mean, we talk about one big thing, okay, how does this make I really do think that I know it's
Very fun. 12 days. 4 days out. 4 days. 4 days out.
People want that to help. The model is that is one of the the thing that I like about the company the team of thought every part of the team is how early we start and we're still doing it as well.
I love you, and I would never rat on you. Never.
We're asking people from
You ain't gonna kill me, man, are you?
it's a very key and even so, I just remember the
very hard.
because we're still going to meet with the people.
They owe you my life.
We're 5-7%. So we are making it. But now it's a little more
You jump from the train, your knees, this
one back there, and as I look at